Hey guys, what's going on? Archie Jr. Gaming here today, and I am joined by a friend of mine.
Your best friend, Jako, Bang 19. How y'all doing?
What are we doing today, Sean?
We're going to talk about gaming specifically.
We wanted to give you guys a little bit of something different. This is not an update video. This is not something that lets you guys know what we're doing. This is what's going on in the world around us in the terms of gaming itself. We apologize for the audio quality. We're using a laptop mic, which is part of Sean's laptop. Thank you very much, Sean, for the use of that.
You're welcome. And this is biased, right?
Yeah, this is extremely biased, but this is our own opinions, so it's not like you guys are wrong. Blah, 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 blah. This is only how we feel. We're not saying this is right or wrong. We're saying this is how we feel about the subject matter.
And if we have any information wrong, we are sorry, but in the comments below, if you have any different opinions, we encourage you to tell us.
Yes.
And we'll write back to our feelings about that.
Yes, we very much appreciate any feedback you guys can give us. So, what we want to bring up first, Sean, I will allow you to introduce the topic while I'm setting it up.
Okay, as we all know, next-gen consoles are upon us.
Or soon to be.
Soon to be, and hopefully they come out this year as of 2013. And as we know, the PS4 should be announced on the 20th.
Or at least details about it.
Details. Hopefully they announce what it looks like. Full accurate list of specs, features, everything, price range, and release date.
I agree. I really hope that's true. We setting this up, we actually found a leaked rumor, that it should be coming out June 2nd is when the release date might be. And what is your estimate for the price range, Sean?
$400 to $600, because if they price it over $600, they will market themselves out completely.
Right, exactly. All right. So speaking of the PS4, I'll read the specs for the PS4.
Okay.
According to Kotaku, the latest dev kits for Sony's PS4 contain 8 GB of video RAM, 2.2 GB of GPU memory, 4, quote, dual-core bulldozers. This is nonsensical as written, but presumably refers to BD's dual-module design. And as a GPU, they have an AMD R10XX, also known as the GCN, aka the Radeon HD 7000 family. Well, first of all, the Radeon HD 7000 family is a very high-end
Isn't that the
graphics
best
card.
they have?
I believe it's in their top tier. It's in their top 3, I know for sure. But that's for AMD, so I mean that's
pretty good.
They're aligning themselves with AMD because I know Xbox is aligning themselves with NVIDIA.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes a lot of sense.
No, I think a lot of us know that it is confirmed that the PS4 specs are better than the 720s, if that's what the name will be.
Exactly. So keep in mind, we will continue to refer to them as the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox 720 until we find out their information is wrong. If you guys look back on this video after some time has passed and our information is wrong, and we acknowledge that it is wrong, please don't keep writing. Alright, now time for the Xbox 720 specs. This is an actual quote, so I apologize if this is a little rambly. 8 CPU cores at 1.6 GHz with a custom 800 MHz graphics processor in the GPU. There are 8 GB of RAM on board with 32 MB of fast-powered SRAM at double the throughput speed, and a 50 GB capable 6X Blu-ray drive. That is nice. Wireless connectivity protocols include both Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi Direct, and there's still a gigabit Ethernet port for gamers with low latency multiplayer demands. It's also come with USB 3.0 and HDMI 1.4a, which supports 3D over HDMI, Ethernet, audio return channels, and 4K resolution.
See, now, the PS4 list, it did not come with some of the full range of things that you said on the Xbox 720.
Correct.
But because the PS3 had Blu-ray, had HDMI, had Ethernet, it had USB, I believe that they will transfer that over to the PS4 because the Blu-ray does make for better graphics.
I am willing to bet money on the fact that they have an HDMI and Ethernet port because they would be losing probably 80% of their audience.
Yes.
If they didn't have those. The Blu-ray player, I am at least 80% sure that they're going to keep that because that was originally in the PlayStation 3 and they marketed that. So
they made that big. That was a home theater entertainment.
Yes, it was. So in the comparison, I honestly think that the PS4 will do much, much better because this one was an explanation versus the first one was a list.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's look at this rationally here. For the graphics unit, AMD Radeon HD 7000 family. That's very specific. That's a very powerful graphics card.
Yes, it is, with a 2.2 gigabyte.
Right. Now, and that's just of GPU memory, so that's easily going to smoke competition out of the water. That's going to be better than most of the middle-range PCs that are available nowadays. It's better than my computer, I know that for sure.
Better than mine now. If you compare it to a high-end PC gamers will be like, screw consoles.
Right. I mean, and that's what all high-end... Well, I mean, high-end PC gamers are mostly adults because they have the money to finance this sort of thing.
I would never,
But I mean, and I would love to be a hardcore... I'm a hardcore console gamer, I just don't have
the money.
The money for high-end. That's pretty much what it is all about. But at the same time, this is very, very interesting news. This is very interesting news to hear that, at least for the Xbox, that they're... And what I love how they're telling us there's so much, but at the same time, they're telling us so little. Because think, they're just throwing information at us that we should already expect. Example, 50 gigabyte capable Blu-ray drive. Okay. Wireless connectivity with both Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi Direct. I guess okay. Gigabit and Ethernet port. That should be there already. USB and HDMI, again, should be there. Now, that stuff is supposed to... Notice how it doesn't tell you that in the PS4 specs. I think that Xbox is trying to hide something. I believe that they're trying not to tell us everything. Not lie to us and tell us that there's going to be something that isn't there, or vice versa, but not telling us the whole truth.
I think, like you said, they're trying to hide something, but when it released, we're going to hate something about it so much. Like the motion control.
Right.
They're going to implement that so much that we're going to think it's the new Wii.
And I really don't enjoy that, because think, you have a long day at work. You come home, you lay down, and you're tired. And you just want to play a video game. Do you really want to boot up all your electronics and then get up and then bounce around the place like a retard? No offense, of course.
You want to lay down with your controller in your hand, soda
some
by your
food,
side,
right,
and just play. You don't want to deal with jumping around with a controller in your hand or
we're looking at you
flapping your
Connect
arms.
and PlayStation Move.
Just motion control.
I'm sick of it.
It needs to go. Unless we're virtual.
That's a different whole thing that we're going to get into at another time.
Okay, but let's move on to the next subtopic here.
Next topic. Features, we talked about that. Games.
Well, before we go into games, controller.
Controller, right. I will put in here a picture of the PlayStation 3 controller. And if you guys notice, on the top of it, there's a little pad. And what was your guess on that, Sean?
The pad, the blue pad itself, if you look at the PlayStation Move, it's blue light up or a different color. That's what I think it's going to be. The controller itself is going to be
so similar to the 6-axis.
6-axis controller or DualShock. I think it's the size of a DualShock controller.
It looks about that. To be honest, just as a personal opinion, it looks like one of those PS2 controllers.
Yep.
Like one of the boxy ones.
But I feel like it's one of those like cheap, get a GameStop controller. It looks like kind of like those.
It really does. It doesn't look very well made at all, honestly.
Hopefully that's just a beta and it comes out with a brand new...
Well, I mean, if you've seen the original leaked picture of the controller, it also shows the dev kit of the PS4.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, that's not going to be the actual release of the PS4.
Are never the same.
Exactly. That's just a metal case.
I would probably cry.
That'd be... Yeah, because it looks
like,
awful.
What is this?
That's because it looks like it belongs in 2001.
Yep. But if you notice, there is a button on the top left of the LED screen. If it is the LED screen, I believe from what I heard, it's where you can record the last 10 minutes of your gameplay on any game. Just click that button and it records. I think they should have a whole game record, because that would make gaming so much easier for...
Recorder. Honestly, like in terms of Let's Players, because I am a Let's Player, that would be extremely helpful. It honestly would.
Honestly, every YouTuber that plays games would get the console immediately, because they want that. They will, if it's good quality. I understand what you're saying, but yet at the same time, that can give room to so much mediocrity. Think how bad it is now with the PC gamers. Minecraft doesn't take much CPU power. No.
And when you record it, it requires just a little bit extra. Not that big a deal, right?
Right.
How many people record Minecraft on average?
A lot.
Way too much. That's my answer for that. Way too much. Now, at the same time, people don't record very much consoles. Why? Because they need a $150 machine, $200 machine?
And plus, if you're most... capture cards, they don't hook up to the PlayStation 3 correctly through HDMI like they do with Xbox, and it just causes a whole big hassle.
So, yeah, at the same time, what I don't understand is why, if that's true, they would allow such mediocrity to continue, or to at least to adapt to the situation. I don't understand, but that could easily be there, and that could easily bring Wave to a new generation
of video capturing.
Of video capturing, correct, and of Let's Playing in general. But the thing is that I'm trying to think of it on a very realistic, very possible scale, because if you really think about it, what's going to end up happening?
What's going to end up happening is it's going to take up a lot of space on the PlayStation itself, and also they're probably just going to go with the last 10 minutes, and that's going to, most people aren't going to use it because the last 10 minutes of gameplay, what are they going to accomplish in that last 10 minutes?
Right.
A boss fight? Probably not. A
cutscene? Maybe.
A cool, stunt that you have to set up beforehand? No.
Possibly, but it's not likely. I can honestly, I agree with that. And if you guys look in the middle, between the two hand rests, if you see it almost looks like a headphone jack. So that could be similar to the original Xbox 360 controller, where there is a headphone jack on that as well. And as you guys know, that the Xbox jack, the Xbox 360 jack rather, I'm not entirely sure, but I believe it's less than a 3.55 millimeter jack, which means you just can't use regular headphones and mic with it, which means you have to buy a separate headset. So this can mean one of two things. A, this means that they are, how do I want to put this? They're able to adapt to this situation. I don't want to say adapt to the situation, I'm an idiot. You can use any headset that you want to use.
That would be, I would work for everybody, because I'd be using Beats by Audio or any
even for recording, because for the Xbox headsets, so you can use those as a mic as well.
Yep.
Now, at the same time, because I have a headset right next to me that does the same thing with my little adapter right there. Now, at the same time, this could also mean the opposite of that. You have to buy PlayStation regulation headsets, PlayStation brand headsets. Sony and PlayStation have not been the type of company to release PlayStation-specific things other than games.
They don't want their customers to hate them for that specific reason.
Right, exactly. So what I think that is going to be option A versus option B. Leave a comment below with what you guys think.
Because I've been always a Sony fan. I've never liked Xbox, and they rely on their customers' feedback, and I believe that they will allow any type of headphones to go in that, even Apple.
I can agree. I'm not a Sony fanboy, or I'm not a Sony hardcore fan. I really enjoy the things that they're doing and the work that they do.
And the products they release.
Yeah, exactly, and the products they release. So I have faith that they're going to be doing something like that and listen to their customers, because they think between the PS2 and the PS3 there was a 6-year difference in time before they released it. 7 years, maybe.
7, yeah.
Okay, now when they released the PlayStation 3, they added tons of new features. Tons of new features. PSN. Blu-ray.
High-end graphics.
Exactly. Now, those are just upgrades visually and audially from the actual console itself, but they also listen to the way the menu's set up. Mm-hmm. The PlayStation menu screen is a little bit, even though it's a drop-down menu, it's a little bit easier to use versus the original PlayStation 2 model.
That was like, where do you like this?
Yeah, which is like, what am I doing? And you can screw up your whole console like that.
Yeah.
So, I think that brings us to the close of that topic, and I believe we can move on to the next one now.
And that would be next-gen console games. But before we talk about games, all I gotta say is, if they do not make these consoles backwards compatible, everything will go to shit. Exactly, because there's no reason for them not to. There's no reason. There's literally no reason. Do you know how much it takes to make a console backwards compatible? The data. That's it. No hardware, no nothing. First of all, if you have a computer, and the computer cannot handle high-end graphics, you don't play high-end games. No. If you have a computer that is high-end, you can play any game. So why, if this console is going to be high-end, and the PS3 is at this stage comparatively minimum end, or not minimum, but middle end, why? Why would it not be possible? I don't understand. But yeah, that brings us to games. Yes. Launch titles. What do you think? Launch titles for the PS3? I'm thinking...
PS4?
Yeah. PlayStation 4. Killzone 4. Uncharted 4. Watch Dogs.
Oh man, I'm excited for Watch Dogs.
I think everybody's excited for that.
They should be.
A new Infamous game. And hopefully...
These are not confirmed, these are only speculation.
What's another PS3 good exclusive?
That's a good question. I really can't think of any.
SOCOM.
SOCOM.
They need a new SOCOM.
Exactly.
SOCOM is how I got into Call of Duty. SOCOM is how I got into shooter games specifically. So SOCOM is where it all
I heard
started.
rumors of a new Red Dead game.
Meh.
Red Dead Redemption is not a remake, but a sequel, a spiritual sequel to Red Dead Revolver and the other ones for the GameCube and PS2.
Yeah, but Red Dead was on Xbox too.
Yeah, but it was at the same time it was released for PS3, and I enjoyed the games even though they're a little bit glitchy. But I think that's going to bring us close to this whole general topic and subtopics. I think that can bring us to topic 2, and what is that, Sean?
Topic 2 is games and media.
Topic 2, gamers in the media. Now,
Whatever, I read it wrong.
No, that's okay. I'll let you handle this one for the most part.
Okay, so in the media, we have two types of gamers. We have
I would say
computer gamers and console gamers. Computer gamers, we think of them as the fat kids that lay back in their chair, or adults that they can't move their neck because their neck's all screwed up. In a sense,
like that South Park episode.
So yeah, exactly. If you ever watch that episode, that's what
I'll probably put a picture in there.
That's what people think in the media of computer gamers that just sit at their house all day and don't do jack shit.
We're not saying these people don't exist, because there are these people, and these people don't honestly deserve the kind of hardware that they have.
No,
they don't. They honestly don't, because they're relying on other people and they're not relying on themselves. So I think that's unfair to those. But at the same time, you have to acknowledge the fact that these people exist, but that's not the only kind of culture there are.
No, there are way much more subcultures of computer gamers.
I've known computer gamers that have been smaller than I am, and if people don't know, but I am extremely small. I weigh 128. I am a very, very small guy, honestly. But I'm tall, but I'm very skinny. And I know people that are smaller than me that play computer games, that do less moving around than I do, and that's crazy.
Yep.
And I only know a very few people. Like, the ratio of players that are fat and play consoles, and like the stereotype of that versus the actual realistic portrayal of these people is oddly balanced. It's oddly balanced, but at the same time, the people they take it way out of hand. The people that are bigger and obese, or the stereotype. They take the stereotype and they wrench it from our hands and make it way out of control.
Yeah.
These people,
hell, they have a meme about it.
They do. They honestly do.
And that's what people think. Like, oh, that's a computer game.
Yeah, it's unfair. And at this, okay, now, what about console gamers?
Console gamers, you think of them as middle-aged adults, teenagers that have a headset over their head, controller in their hand, yelling at a TV screen,
or yelling at friends, or yelling at friends.
Basically jerks. We think of console gamers as people that are violent, mean.
And that brings us to actual gamers in the media in general. Like, do you remember the Halo shooter that was I think it was in New York? Put an article about that in the actual video itself. But this guy was supposedly trained in Halo 3 to be a sniper. Come on now.
Yeah, that's...
Halo 3 was not... Or not Halo 3, Halo 2 as a sniper. The game's not that realistic. I don't care.
It's like, I will be a victim to this. I was good at Call of Duty when I used to be. And then I got into paintball, and I realized that is the closest thing to warfare I'll ever get, and I sucked at it. And I was scared shitless. I hid behind the barriers like a little pussy. And I never felt so scared of my life when paintballs were flying at me. But then when I go back in video games, I'm running and gunning toward these little bitches that... Because
it doesn't matter. You're not in danger in these sort of games.
You're not.
So the value isn't the same. It's not. And people accuse games as being violent forms of media that can corrupt children.
That is wrong.
That is dead wrong.
Now there might be some kids that take it way too far in that.
First of all, I actually did a study on this in class. I did a study about this. The ESRB is putting a rating system of EC, which hasn't been used in a while, which is the lowest rating system.
Like SpongeBob.
Like SpongeBob games. All the way up to AO, which is adult only. EC is early childhood, by the way. Now, it goes EC, E, E10+, T, M, and then AO.
Porno.
Yeah, AO or porno games. Now, these things exist in the world. But if you... I honestly believe that anything in terms of TV, books, movies... Example, Sean, if you had a kid at the age of 10 years old...
Oh, God.
Who wanted to watch a rated R movie? It was a murder flick. Like Friday the 13th. One of the really gory ones. Would you allow him to watch it by himself?
No.
Would you allow him to watch it with you in the room?
Yes.
Okay. Would you allow your child to attempt to purchase cigarettes?
No.
Would you allow your child to try and purchase a porno mag?
No.
Of course. Why would you? Now, at the same time, if there was a game like God of War, or another brutal game similar to it,
okay,
right? Would you allow, which is a rated M game, it says for 17 up, would you allow your 10-year-old child to play it, even with you in the room?
Yes.
You would?
Yes, I would.
What's your reason behind that?
Because games are not bad, in my opinion.
I agree. I believe it should be in the hands of the parents. If they don't want them to even experience this type of thing, it exists in the world, but that doesn't mean that it can't be stopped. And I'm not saying stop it, like, make it so they don't exist anymore. It belongs in the hands of the parents. Don't let them play it, or at least teach them differently.
If you're a parent and you're so caught up about all this negative media attention, just don't show it to them. That's simple.
It's really
it
that
will
simple.
always be there. Just it's your job to make sure that your kids don't view it till they're 14 plus.
Or if they see it, they should at least have the judgment to understand right from wrong.
Make sure you talk about it.
Exactly. Introduce it at a young age, and we're not trying to give parenthood lessons. We're only teenagers, but I mean,
exactly.
It's not that hard to figure out. I mean, if teenagers can figure it out and practice what they preach,
then adults can too.
Then adults can too.
And don't be little bitches about it, please.
Seriously, it's not that hard. It's really not that hard.
So,
this brings us to gaming as an art form, which is topic 3.
You can control this one.
All right, gaming as an art form. Gaming versus movies versus theater versus books. Now, books there are things that gaming can do by itself, and movies can do by itself, theater can do by itself, and books can do by itself. Now, in a book, you can read something about a character and find what they're thinking.
Depends what, third person, first person, whatever.
Yeah, but if it says, I thought, that this pie tasted delicious, and you play a game, character's eating a pie.
Now you don't think that pie's delicious.
You don't know if he does or not. You don't, because it doesn't tell you that, but it has to show you it. The same thing about theater and movies. Movies are crap about internal conflict. It can only show what's on the outside, the exterior, and that's why there's a lot of speculation in movies, in theater. But books, on the other hand, can show what's going on inside. Gaming
is all of them.
It's essentially all of them, because a movie can have like an internal dialogue, but I mean that's hashed out and dumb. And same thing gaming. That's just my own personal thing. I really don't enjoy that. But gaming, here's a little thing. I read this thing about Jonathan Blow. If you played a game, if I played a game and you wanted to know about it, and I told you everything that happened in the game, did you play the game?
No.
If I watched a movie and told you everything, including the ending, that happened in the movie, did you watch the movie?
Technically, yes.
Technically, yes, but physically, did you?
No.
There you go.
Because
there are things that in games that cannot be explained and shouldn't be explained.
Because
you literally have to feel it.
You have to know it for yourself. You have to go and do it yourself. But in movies, you can picture it all. Like, okay, this is how it happened. But in a game, you're like, wait,
there are details you could have details you could have missed, things you could have left behind.
Exactly. In a book, you get so in depth with it, you can't put the book down. That's the same thing as games. When you have the game itself, fighting bad guys, and then when you get to the cutscene.
And by the way, we're not talking about shooters necessarily. We're talking mainly about role-playing games, because those are the ones that have the best story by far, or at least action games.
Now I'm gonna go to God of War,
of course,
because I love that game. You get so into the storyline that, hell, you might go back to Google and type in a backstory of the character
like the wiki,
and then you might go back into YouTube and type in all the cutscenes of Game 1, Game 2, and you can learn the story without playing the game itself.
But the feeling isn't the same. Someone else is controlling it. You are literally controlling, technically, another human being with his or her own wants, desires, dreams, emotions.
like the movie Gamer.
Exactly.
That movie was amazing.
That movie was amazing, and that portrayed every stereotype accurately. It portrayed every single correct stereotype, not stereotype, but correct assumption perfectly. If you guys want to see what we're talking about, go watch the movie. It's on Netflix. Go watch the movie Gamer. I cannot recommend this movie enough because I had no problem with it. There were terms that only gamers know. Ping.
Exactly.
You know? I mean, it's perfect. It's literally perfect. But
that's probably like 2,050 plus games
I agree.
that will happen.
Now, gaming taken seriously. Gaming is never taken seriously.
No.
There are schools in Wisconsin and Omaha, Nebraska, if I remember correctly, that are using in Bath, Maine, our own, like within like 20 minutes driving distance. Their schools are using the open sandbox genre-defying game Minecraft as an architectural tool.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, I remember telling you about it. It was being used as an architectural aid. You can build, because it has creative mode. You can build anything you want to.
People build
the Starship Enterprise.
They build it to scale.
It's crazy. It really is. Now, what could this mean for teaching, learning, and development, the developmental cycle of children, adults, teenagers, you name it?
All virtual.
All virtual. I agree. Example. I watched this video, the Yahtzee Zero Punctuation World of Warcraft Cataclysm video, and he asked a friend who played the game, why do you raid? Which is, do you know what raiding is?
No.
Raiding is you get a bunch of friends together, a group together, and you go into a dungeon and you get loot and you kill stuff, have fun, right?
Oh, okay.
It's like a group dungeon. Now, he asked a friend, why do you raid? And his friend said, to get the best items. And he said, what do you use the best items for? To which he could only answer, to raid with. People, it's a cycle. You get the items so you can raid. You raid so you can get the items. You get the items so you can raid. And it goes on and on and on. There is no end. This is about online role-playing games, just so you guys know. But there is no end to that. But people don't stop. Even when they reach max level, they have the best gear. They don't stop. They just keep going.
It's so much fun.
It's fun, and it's called intrinsic motivation. It literally has no value. You could spend 100,000 hours playing any video game, over and over and over again, or even a MMORPG, till you reach the very end. You get everything done 100%.
And then you can set a new challenge for yourself, and you keep going.
But yet at the same time, say you beat an MMORPG, like wow, 100%, right?
Oh
god, 100%. Literally, you have nothing else to do.
It's annoying.
I know. There's a car going outside. You guys, sorry about that. But
probably.
You beat this game 100%, and you don't stop. There's literally nothing else for you to do. There's no reason for you to keep going, but you keep going. Why? Because you enjoy it. And it has no value. Literally, all the hours that you put in there, you will not get out again. You cannot get time back. But you keep going anyway. You waste...
You enjoy.
Not waste. You spend hours of your life playing these games, and you don't stop.
I know I wasted over a month of my life sitting down playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
I wasted about 6 months of my life playing WoW.
Wow.
I played a lot of that game. I played a lot of that game. That's just something to think about, you guys. Honestly, we're not trying to tell you how to feel, what to feel, who to act, what to say. We're not telling you anything. We're just simply showing you how we feel.
And you can take our opinions the wrong way or the right way. We don't. Really
it's up to you. What you do with that information. Think of it as we're providing you a toolbox. You can do whatever you want with that toolbox. You can put it in the back of your mind.
This can be your toolbox if you want.
Right. You can adapt every single... Who knows? Every single thing that we said so far, you're nodding your head and going, yeah, I understand. Yeah, I get it. That makes a lot of sense. Or you can say, you guys are idiots. You guys have no idea what you're talking about. Doesn't matter. To us, it doesn't matter. We just want to tell you what is going on.
In the world of gaming.
Correct. In the world of gaming.
And
what is going on. Okay. Now that brings us to our fourth and final topic for this recording, which is casual gaming. Compared to hardcore gaming. How do you feel about that? Because I have a very strong feeling about it.
Okay, I'm going to say this once. I'm a casual gamer, and you're a hardcore gamer.
Correct.
But you aren't the hardcore gamer as in level 99 on WoW.
Right.
Or 10 Prestige.
Modern Warfare.
That's a hardcore gamer. Casual gamer is just laid back, does what he needs to do.
Plays what he wants to.
And does his shit and gets done.
Doesn't seek any greater, deeper meaning for the games. It just plays it, and when they're done, they just get rid of them.
It doesn't become pro in the game.
Anything,
itself.
really. Anything with gaming.
He just does it for fun.
Right. Not to say that hardcore gamers don't play for fun. It's just like that's their main purpose of playing. Hardcore gamers play for one of several reasons.
A sport.
Sport, to dissect, to analyze, or to destroy. Now, people that are hardcore gamers are usually along the lines of games journalists, beta testers, or game designers.
Yes.
If that's their career. And there's nothing wrong with those careers. In fact, I want to be a video game designer when I get older, and not as a job, but as a career. Like, something I want to do for most of, if not all of my life.
And I will be the casual gamer that, when I get out of work, I'll just play maybe 2 or 3 hours of games, depending on the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Have fun with it.
Exactly. Then there's... I cannot stand... You're not necessarily... You are a casual gamer, but you're not the kind of casual gamer that I absolutely despise. A true... the pure-blooded, and I say pure-blooded in the most ironic sense of the word, casual gamer is the kind of casual gamer that plays Bejeweled Blitz every second of every day.
What is that?
Exactly! Literally exactly what I'm trying to say!
I've never heard of such a thing in my life.
It's a color-matching game.
Spiked, holy crap.
Yeah, it did. Bejeweled is like a color-matching game.
Oh, that's like iPhone gamers.
Exactly.
Nobody
it drives me insane.
Stop playing Angry Birds and get the fuck out of here.
Seriously, I can understand playing them when you're just laying on the couch or whatever, but that's the only games that they play. That's it.
No, nobody likes you. And people say, "Oh, iPhone games are going to be the future." Get the fuck out. Nobody likes you.
Yeah, nobody likes you.
I will throw an iPhone at your face, then slap it with you. Slap, and then shove it down your throat and you can die. Bye. That's how I feel about you.
I agree. 100% I agree. I absolutely cannot stand casual gamers in that sense. The casual gamers you're trying to talk about are the less restrictive casual gamers that just play whatever because they can.
They play for fun, they play whatever, and they don't care if they win or lose.
Exactly.
I might care if I maybe lose a hardcore game of Modern Warfare or something. But
right.
I'm not going to go cry about it in the corner like a hardcore gamer would if they lost their championship game to a noob.
Yeah, or if I remember, that's the reason why I stopped playing World of Warcraft is because somebody hacked my account and got rid of all my shit.
Ooh, that pissed me off.
What they did is they just bought, instead of checking the transaction history, they just bought a bunch of stuff, a bunch of, to waste all my gold, and then just dropped it.
Yeah.
Man, just bringing that brings back my nerd rage, man. My gamer rage.
Shows how much of it. He's a mini hardcore gamer.
I am.
There's different levels.
I'm restricted
of hardcore
right now because I don't have the money for a hardcore PC. But
he will.
Oh, I will.
He will.
But this has been RC Junior Gaming talking with Jako Bang 19.
And over 33 minutes of gaming talking. Wow.
So we will see you guys next time. If you guys would like to see us talk about a particular topic or a particular subtopic, or just give us any little hint that you guys would like to see, or any little comment, we may end up using it. So leave a comment in the description below, inbox me or Jako. I'll put his channel link in the description, and we will see you guys next time.
Peace.